We alone raise up a nation of laws that ultimately empowers all of its people. And those laws are embodied in the Constitution of the United States of America. That is what we are here to remember. I hope you will find this evening interesting as we engage not only in discourse with ourselves, where you can see, as Mr. Jefferson calls it, the dynamic tension that exists in this great experiment of ours, but that we will be able to hear from you as well. My friends, it is at this time my greatest honor and privilege to introduce to you my Minister of Foreign Affairs. You would call him the Secretary of State. And from what I have been told, although I find it bewildering, the gentleman who actually served as the third President of these United States, Mr. Thomas Jefferson, please.
Your Excellency, you yourself, indeed, resplendent as always in your uniform, and please know, regardless of what high office I may ever attain, I continue to remain your humble and obedient servant.
Thank you, sir. Please.
Good evening, citizens. Good evening. Oh, they are there. What a delight it is to have the opportunity to follow His Excellency so far into the Western Territories, into what Your Excellency recall we had always called Western Virginia. Here and read about the Great Lakes and that particular one of Michigan. Citizens, I look forward to our confabs this evening, our confabulations, our conversation upon any subject that you would delight to put forth for our general interest. Indeed, the conversation provided by your questions, an open and free inquiry. That has always been my greatest delight, and one we must never ever shirk as the American citizenry, because it is the public conversation, it is the public argument, it is the public debate more than anything else which will continue to preserve, protect, and defend our natural rights. And I hope we well understand that these are the rights that are given to us, and I mean not only as Americans. These are the rights that are given to the family of man across this globe, not by any government and not by any ruler. These are the rights that are given to mankind by nature and nature's God. So how well we incur His favor and engage His benevolence. When we engage these rights, or rest you assured, if we do not, well, as history has shown, we may lose them. So I welcome your questions, your curiosities, and your concerns this evening, as I have welcomed the opportunity to venture so far here and to be in your presence, and again, once more, in your presence. Is it not one of the most remarkable, unrecorded moments in our nation's history that we should be all together tonight and to reflect upon a remarkable history and that remarkable document that we have contrived? Do you know that September 1787, I was not there at the Constitutional Convention. In fact, would anyone know where I was?
France.
I was in France. I was serving as our nation's second minister plenipotentiary at the court of His Majesty, King Louis XVI. And I will tell you this, when I received from Mr. Madison that remarkable document in a letter that he sent me the following November of '87, I wrote back to him immediately, I am captivated by this document, truly the shortest of its kind in human history, creating a government to check its own power. providing the greater power in the legislative body, truly that body elected directly by whom? The people. And particularly, the beauty of its prologue. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, is that not unique in human history, that the people admit their government is not perfect, that we continue to strive and struggle to form a more perfect union, to continue to remind ourselves that we achieved something most unique indeed in human history, to bring together 13 individual nations, not only for our common safety, surely, yes, not only for our common defense, but most importantly, for the common good. To think that we engage the ancient arguments which have occupied man from time immemorial, arguments relative to his eternal struggle for liberty, to engage those arguments freely, and therefore not to answer them, but truly to provide in the victory of our American Revolution the opportunity for man to prove that he is capable of self-government. That is what we call the American experiment. Citizens, as I dismounted out of doors, I took off my riding boots, I put on my shoes, and I thought, well, I'll be observed by you all as rather musty and dusty from the saddle, perhaps peculiarly apparelled. So I conjured up an apology for you, and yet as I was venturing down the aisle and then ascended the dais and turned about to gaze amongst all of you, Your Excellency, I do not know why any apology from me is necessary tonight. I've always believed in dressing for comfort, but you overwhelm me in that regard. And now I find I'm rather overdressed. Overdressed in what has become rather the peculiar cut of a gentleman's suit of clothes since the turn of the century. Oh, since the dawn of the 19th century, perhaps you've noticed gentlemen have been cutting away their old frock coats, their frocks so fashionable before, during, after the American Revolution, buttoning right down to their knees. You rarely see them any longer. Gentlemen cutting away the points of their waistcoats, and I declare without the excess of material, well, this is far more comfortable in the saddle. Oh, I'm never a day out of the saddle. And that old tri-corner hat, well, you rarely see them any longer, with the exception, I dare say, of Williamsburg, Virginia, where they're still worn as an honorarium to the past. But no, gentlemen are now sporting these top hats, growing ever the higher. And yet you can see I'm still old-fashioned. I still enjoy wearing breeches. Very comfortable in breeches, Your Excellency. Easy to put on your boots, easy to take them off, easy to be seated in the saddle. I have not succumbed to this gentleman's fashion of pantaloons buttoning all the way down to the ankles. In fact, I declare even some of the women folk are sporting them here this evening. You must be from France, are you? Ever at the forefront of fashion, they are. I beg your pardon, citizens. Lest you think your Chief Magistrate has lost his mind to stand here and ruminate upon fashion and style. No, lest you think indeed I do not own up to what the Federalists continue to chastise me and place upon me, that I am somewhat of an American Sphinx. Have you heard that? Lofty, reserved, inapproachable, silent. Many of my good friends, my family, know me to be incessant in conversation, to enjoy confab, particularly jocularity. No, rest you assured, I have not lost my mind to comment and ruminate upon fashion and style, no more than the rest. It is an element of our human nature that I welcome. Even in the worst of times, it preoccupies us. What is the other wearing? Will we properly conform? Nay, indeed. Perhaps you've read as I have written. When it comes to fashion, swim with the current. But when it comes to principle, stand like a rock. And that is what we are recognizing this anniversary of our Constitution of the United States, recognizing the safety, the security, the protection, and the defense of the principles over which we engaged our American Revolution.